All right, so another thing that's really useful that can be done with the PSOC 5LP is just communicate with the computer. So I'm going to make a new project for the PSOC CY8C5888 LP097, and I'm just going to call this USB comms. That's the name of the project. And we have a blank project here. This is our project on the left, and I'm going to start by placing a USBUART component. So I'll just open it up here, and we can place this USBUART component. And I'm just going to rename it USBUART. I don't like this _1 at the end. So I'll just press OK, and then I can hit this build button to try and translate all this hardware into software. And it's going to come up with some errors. And these errors are because we haven't configured our clocks for USB. So I'm just going to click clocks on the left, and I can just click on one of these, and we have some configurations that I got to change. So first of all, we see that this USB has an error. So it says, okay, the USB clock needs to be enabled. So we click the check mark, and then we say, okay, what's the problem now? And now it needs to run at 48 megahertz. So we can make it run at 48 megahertz by setting this to 24 megahertz, and this will allow you to multiply it by 2. You can try some other stuff. If you just try doing 48 megahertz and then 48 megahertz, it's not the right tolerance. So we need this plus or minus 0.25 tolerance, then we can multiply by 2 for USB to be okay. And then it also wants this ILO to be set to 100 kilohertz. So once that's done, just press OK, and then you can press this build button again, and everything should work fine. All right, let's go ahead and open up our main.c, and we're going to write some basic code that allows our board to communicate with the computer. So first of all, we're going to do USBUART, is what the name of the component was, _start. And it takes a couple of arguments. The device we can just pass in 0, and then the mode is USBUART _5 volt operation. And then we're also going to do one more thing. We're just going to wait until the device actually connects to the computer. So we can do this with a really simple while loop, is how Cypress recommends doing this. They say while USBUART get configuration, get configuration equals 0. So while the get configuration function returns a 0, then we will just wait. So this is blocking code, and this is important to realize that your code will not progress past this point until it is actually connected to the computer. So once it is connected to the computer, we're just going to send a string, USBUART send put string, and we can just pass in hello. And then we'll do \r and \n at the very end, and what that does is it's just like an enter. It's like a return character. So then we'll just do delay for another second, and then we'll just send the string again. So this will just run continuously. So we'll just press program, and it'll program the program onto our device. And we can go ahead and look it up our device manager to see if the device is there. And it should be in ports. And this kitprog is the actual device itself, is the programmer side. But what we're programming is actually the PSOC itself. So we actually have to connect a USB to this side of the device. This is the PSOC side. And you'll notice that another device pops up here in our device manager that's on COM5. So we can open PuTTY, and then we can open a serial on COM5 and just press open. And we'll see that our PSOC is printing hello over and over again every second to our COM port.